Anyway, enough of that. Just wanted to get that out there in the open before we get the questions rolling in on the Twitter sphere. Right now, I'm ready to get some Counter-Strike going. Inferno, Mirage, Vertigo on the cards, MIBR, and Team Envy on the cards as well as we kick off Season 10 in style. It's going to be Jason Kaplan and Tom Bismer.
Well, thank you very much, Dunna. So I'm going to be calling your pairing throughout the course of this season. I might change as time goes on. Don't worry about that too much. We have MIBR going to be starting off on the CT side. Envy going to be starting off on the T side. And I want to say, and I want to agree with Tom, obviously, and Dust as well, that MIBR have been struggling on this map, but they feel like, hands down, the stronger team in this matchup, Tom.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. Like overall, you'd look at this team and say they are the stronger of the two, but last time they did actually play in a best of 3, Envy took Inferno off them. And that was playing with, both teams playing with a coach, but you can't really take too much away. Either way, we are going into our pistol round, Taco and Lucas. And look at this crossfire in towards mid already. There's 4 players here for the CT side, just patiently waiting for the Ts to make their way. And even still, Ryan's managed to get quite far forward, and they've wrapped around through the apartments, which has actually benefited them quite a lot in this scenario. Even still, it's gone back into a 3v3.
And Taco, a man who actually had a very rough game over at V4 as well on Inferno. I think he dropped 5 frags throughout the entire map, if I'm not mistaken, or relatively close to that. He needs to have a standout game. I feel like he needs to start to step up here when it comes to the Pro League. But as you mentioned before, hearing Fallen already talk about, they've had time to finally practice. They didn't have events. They had time to come together as a team and work on some strategies. As Android's going to be the last alive in a 1-on-2. Gets flashed up, and Fallen will come in and solidify the round here for MIBR. And that's the start we wanted to see out of the Brazilians.
Yeah, it's actually still surprising, though, that Envy actually managed to get that much done. When you look at the setup that was actually there for MIBR, just the fact they had 4 players on A. They were all into middle, though, so that was the one sort of hole in the defense. But it made that retake so fast that I don't think the remaining players from Envy who were trying to basically defend the bomb at that point were expecting anybody to be there that soon. So they get off with the pistol round. Even still, a bomb plant is going to help out Envy a fair bit. But they're not actually going to opt for the force buy. Like we see a lot of teams nowadays go for those SGs, juggle a couple around and try and just break the purchases. But utility is so important on this map that I think they're just going to patiently wait, get themselves some extra nades, and then they'll fight versus SMGs in the next round.
Just look at these MP9s they have inside of MIBR. They want to make bank. Solom's going to be the first one to go down. I know we touched on him earlier on. And the thing is, I think we cast him back for an Intel Extreme Masters Chicago qualifier like sometime last year. And we were kind of impressed when it came to Dust 2, more of a Puggy style map that he played on. But then when it came to more of the team-oriented maps, he started to struggle. And I looked back at his recent performances over the last 12 months, 6 months, 3 months, and the last month. And he's consistently getting better, which is a good thing, I think, for this young player who technically I think could be a massive standout, a massive all-star if he starts to really meld with his team and start to up his, I guess, mind play level.
Mind play level.
Yeah, I'm going to start creating words again. Just hope I won't say Kimishima again throughout the course. But luckily I won't have to because it's over in Europe. But MIBR take the second round. Build up a lot of bank here. And now we're going to go into Team Envy buying some things. I wonder for Fur in particular. I mean, that's got to be one of the biggest talking points we have about this roster at the moment is how well can he perform with the broken wrist, with the broken collarbone. Obviously, it's going to be very difficult and very painful for him. And I would imagine when it comes to hitting shots like we've seen him doing in recent times, I'm not sure he's going to be able to be as consistent as before.
Yeah, it's even if he's just going to be playing in pain as well, because even if he is able to play, like, surely it must hurt. Like, and I know if you've broken things before, I've dislocated things before. And yeah, I couldn't do much after that point. I pretty much just sat home feeling sorry for myself. So we'll see. Obviously, he's decided to at least stick with the team. Obviously, they've been practicing together.
Well, I
wonder,
that's what I'm saying. It was his right wrist that he broke, right? He didn't have a cast on.
He did earlier today, or he had like some support earlier today. So I'm guessing he's just taken it off so that he has more maneuverability during the match.
I wonder if that's going to affect like the healing process in terms of maybe he'd be out for a longer period of time.
Practice as well. Yeah. Because is he taking it off every prac? Like most teams prac quite a lot per day. So who knows? Either way, the opening pick has gone the way off the back of some. And this is that round. This is the sort of bonus, in a sense, for MIBR. You don't see it as often nowadays because you can't make as much money over the first few rounds, but they still have an opportunity here. The big problem, though, is most of their utility is already gone. A singular smoke and a couple of incendiaries to hold back this T side for 45 seconds, and they are doubling back towards Lucas, who has one of the only rifles, in fact, the only rifle. See what he can do, a bit of damage, and it will actually be picked up by Fallen. He's going to now be given another go, and actually does huge amounts of damage, but doesn't get a kill.
Thing is, with the damage he has done with Sam, Ryan, Fugly both are all three very low HP. KNG with the MP9 can just mow through them entirely. Going to come around the corner as well, gets blinded up, and obviously gives away his position, but gets the spray down onto 3, and that's the damage that Fallen was able to do. Taco gets the last one. KNG gets 3. More importantly, gets 3 with the SMG, and now has 8,000 to spend. Really well done. Even though Fallen did fall, the damage was done, the work was put in, and MIBR are going to capitalize off that round.
It's always nice when your AWPer just gets a buttload of money as well. That's going to help you out quite a bit. Where we've spoken about the double AWPs potentially coming in. Inferno can allow for it, but a lot of teams don't opt to put it in the majority of the time. And actually, they haven't started off with it here. It's going to be still the rifle remaining. Obviously, this round is against pistols, and they'll know that. So maybe that's a decision they've made just to go, yeah, we don't want to give them 2 opportunities to steal away at all.
Yeah, and back at V4 as well, when we were in Budapest, we did see MIBR play a lot around KNG's off. Like, for instance, on Inferno, they like to go for the boost up over smokes to look for a shot. They like to boost him out as well with the running boost. They really try to facilitate him to pick up kills, and he's been pretty damn consistent on it. You can't really knock him too much on what he's been able to do in recent times with the AWP, with this MIBR roster. And I'm really curious to see how the team's adapted with the time they have had to practice.
Here we go. Ready. That first AWP kill is onto the board and just repositioning to just knock him down, but Android will at least manage to connect the shot. You can see his teammates, however, looking to just defend that AWP. They don't want to let it get anywhere near. Good flashbang from Taco, but even still, it's a couple of trades going back and allowing for that AWP to be retrieved. However, getting into this site is going to be difficult, and you can see Taco just trying to reposition in a way that they can't get the bomb down, but he also can't be taken down too easily.
I like this. Trying to give Fugly a chance to hit a shot. Time technically on their side at the moment with 37 seconds left. But you can see MIBR pretty much ready to pounce, and Taco's just going to run up, get the quick kill onto Fugly. And saw him by himself against 3 with 30 seconds. A chance to save, probably not going to be there. Obviously taking his time, 20 seconds now left to go. He's got Taco to find here initially. Fallen just runs directly right by him. If he can hit the second shot, maybe he has the chance. But Taco will shut him down. More importantly, recover that AWP. That was some good damage done either way, though, out of Envy, to be fair.
Yeah, no, if anything, you'd say there's a bit too much damage. If you're MIBR, if you do want to bring in 2 AWPs later on, that's not something you can facilitate with that amount of damage happening off the back of pistols. And now the finances are going to start to build. And we've spoken a lot, even throughout the pre-show, about MIBR. But one of the things I'm most excited for in this matchup is Nifty back on the AWP and in-game leading. Those were the 2 things he did fantastically well in Renegades. When he left, he was like, I just want a rifle now. And it looks like he's finally got back to the point where he's going to basically look to put the team back on his back. He's going to make all the calls, and he is phenomenal with this AWP. If he can get even close to the level he was at before, I would go as far as to say he was the best AWPer in NA at the time he was performing that well. So if he can get back to that level, that's going to be an exciting show.
That's a lot of pressure to put on him, especially up against Fallen and KNG. You can see you trying to create an avenue to make something happen. Ryan looking to push over towards long. KNG gonna be watching this direction. Actually, Lucas in the meantime is gonna be able to pick up the first one. Nice little crossfire setup. KNG gonna get aggressive, and well, there's Nifty losing that first battle up against KNG. Lucas trying to spam through the smoke, almost tagging down Android, even lower than he currently is at 35 health. But they've got them bottled in. I mean, Psalm has the bomb. He's towards T stairs. It's not like he's gonna be able to cross without Fallen seeing him, and I don't imagine Fallen's gonna miss too many shots in this position.
Fugly looking to try and be a little bit sneaky here. He has to try and make a play, and does manage to get one. The second will not go his way, however, as Taco's there with the trade, and it leaves them in a similar scenario, but with even less time on the clock. They at least know where Taco is, but it doesn't really benefit them too much. They've rotated Lucas in with the SG to hold on to any sort of cross. They're going to try and Molotov him out, but that's one of the only piece of utility they have left, and now they have to try and make their way on towards this site. Lucas is holding. Both players already tagged low, so a bullet or 2 will do it. A headshot will definitely do it. And Som, well, his hope is to get a bomb plant here. Make some extra money, make sure they can buy into the next round, but Fallen is not going to allow for it.
Yeah, that was really like tough kind of that situation where Andrew was trying to push up towards short with the WP, but he had to wait for Som to rotate back in to help out. So it's not like he can really push in the site by himself, and then time became a massive pressure. As obviously the clock started to tick down and Som was able to finally get out of apartments. Not an ideal start here for Envy. Again, they were able to do some decent damage. They show they can at least battle out when it comes to some of these head-to-head duels, though Nifty already losing out the first one up against KNG. But MIBR are definitely looking solid and looking like the team that we expect to get out of this group. Whether it's first or second place, we'll come to a solution later on in the week, as obviously Fury is going to be trying to fight for their chance to take home that finals place already out of groups. But that's going to be an interesting battle when we get to it between the two Brazilian teams, because Fury is currently ranked 13 and MIBR is ranked 14.
The most exciting thing for me, at least, is the brothers.
That as well.
Like the twins facing off against each other, because I don't know if that's happened before. It might have done, but they always seem to be on a team together. Like, I think it was a ridiculously long time that they played together, just always jumping from team to team. And now they're on the two top Brazilian teams facing off against each other in a couple of days, and that should decide who comes out top of the group as well. So it's an important match. Will be coming later. KNG again. He's been doing very well at getting these opening picks early in this match. Has to be careful, but he has support now from Fer. And while Fer just going to be cleaning up these eco frags, it's looking like he's not having too much of a problem, if I'm honest, with his wrist. A triple kill, obviously, versus not much on the other side.
It's not like he had to move his hand much either. He was just holding
No.
one angle the whole time.
Doesn't change his reactions, I suppose.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, he's going to be a stellar player, and if he can continue to perform well, even with these broken bones, like, that really shows the true class of player that he is, and how kind of on form he can still be and maintain.
It's just a worry, though, because I remember when Olov sort of had the same issue. He had issues, it wasn't broken, but he had issues with his wrist, and he tried to carry on playing, and then it seemed like he was then out for longer, and he even tried to come back once, and then left again, so...
That's what I was saying before, the constant
that's the
time,
worry. Yeah,
taking it out of the cast, and then playing, and then obviously the practicing, it's just going to make it worse, or potentially delay the full healing process. Nifty.
They burnt right at the end. This has not been a great start for him, unfortunately. He's one of the people you really want to be lighting up the server on the MV side if they are going to be able to take this victory. And this is the danger. They now have the two AWPs. Fallen on that B site has already done so much damage. Ryan, this isn't sort of the welcome he wanted into this team, as he's currently 007. And well, you can't really put any blame on him either. The whole team has just not been able to do anything thus far versus the Brazilian side.
Funny enough, you know, back at V4 when we were casting it, there was like a nice little video where they talked to the teams and they talked to the players about like, what's your role within the team? And when he gets to Taco in this one, he's like, I think I'm the support. Or maybe the identity of him on the team has finally been answered, and they finally found that solution of like what he's going to be doing within this time they have had to practice. But this me by himself up against 5. He'll get the first kill, yes. But to be able to pull off an ace in the situation down 6-0, I'm not sure how likely that would be, especially with about 35 seconds left to go and no bomb in hand. So I imagine probably just trying to save the weapon into the next round, which I think he should be able to do. It's not like the economy is stellar for MIBR. You do have Fer at 6.6k and you have Fallen at 5.5, but unless you want to maintain these weapons, it's not like Fugly has an op to hand over to Nifty.
Yeah, it's one of those scenarios where they've got maximum loss bonus on the remainder of the players, but he might as well keep that just to be able to buy some utilities. It's not really the situation you want to be in, and unfortunately for Envy, they're not even doing too much in terms of getting the bomb down anymore.
First coming around the corner. Okay, I was gonna say, that's a little rough for Fugly if he dies after time and loses the weapon. But 7-0. I guess our questions have been answered for MIBR so far.
Yeah, it's fairly early on still, but I think this is the problem, especially with like teams looking to try and get into the Pro League. Like that, we talk about teams who are battling for like the spots within the Pro League finals, and then there's some of the teams that just kind of don't want to be playing relegation. Like the Envy are definitely in that bracket. Like last time around, they managed to win just one map. I think obviously we've got Sword Patrol, who last time didn't manage to win a map. So there's a few teams that obviously improvements need to be had to even just survive within this, and they themselves, I think, made it through relegation last time. So that's obviously not something they want. They want to try and show improvements, especially when you're on an organization like Envy. It's not like they're a small org.
Let's see if they can change their stars, at least in this round. To have some aggression over towards this B site. Fallen trying to push out around the corner. Not sure if he expects Psalm so close. If he misses this first shot, Psalm's going to completely overwhelm him. But they spot out the player jumping. Actually, to push out with 2 more players. A big stack coming in for MIBR on the B site. They do take that first man advantage.
It cost them a lot, though. And I think the T's know this. They're just going to go running straight in towards KNG. He will, however, already managed that initial pick. The grenades come a little bit too late. They tried to wrap back around onto short, and this is where Taco can just sit in the pit. One of the hardest positions to clear, especially when you don't have any utility, which MB currently don't. They do manage to kill off KNG, and actually Android gets the kill onto Taco. A triple for him now. And he's going to have to ace it if they want to get their first round on the board. This would be one hell of a way to do it. I think he may have even spotted out the feet of Fallen as he jumped past. Fur's going to be the one wrapping around. Now, when he's holding angles, it seems like he's been fine so far, but how's he going to opt to go all the way? It's actually going to be through apps. So taking some control back, trying to section him into the site. The clock, however, is ticking. They do, of course, have kits, but can Android find this duel? No. He faces his back to Fallen, and well, ultimately, that will be another round on the board for MIBR, but at least he popped off. At least he did something in that round.
I think just morale-wise for them is going to be important, too, just to start to get some kills. You still have Ryan currently at 0 and 8, unfortunately, and Nifty hasn't had a single AWP kill, I think, so far this match.
No, he hasn't.
So maybe get some kills, just get something going, some momentum, some morale spike coming in, get people, riled up a little bit, because considering you're playing in the Pro League here, you have 3 days to potentially top your group or just to make it into the second group phase. Definitely some tough times here for Envy, and this was the map that you chose. And I think if you look at the past record for MIBR, yeah, like they are very susceptible on this map. 22% win rate, as you mentioned before, out of 9 maps. But they're looking like a much different team here at the moment.
It is also worth mentioning that a lot of those maps are with their coach, and then even after that, it's when they've admitted themselves that they didn't have any practice. So it is a bit of a harsh stat to bring up, because it's sort of like, yeah, it's bad, but we also were playing with a coach for the majority of it. But even still, it's a map that definitely other teams have been able to find holes in, even once they brought in KNG, but it is looking better already. But I don't think Envy have really done anything that difficult to counter. They've been giving KNG a lot of opening picks, like just running into his crosshair without any real flashes. Like the smoke comes after he's killed someone, well, that's pointless. Like, you need to be stopping this guy and sectioning him off and making it more difficult for him to just have an open kill. And, well, that's what they're attempting in this round. Faster plays, but he just repositions, takes a new angle, and, well, once again, it's another opening kill that's come in for KNG.
Currently at 14 and 3, and we saw the aggression come out. They were already pushed up towards long in the first 20 seconds of time, but since KNG got that kill, they've actually halted them back. They've held them off. Rotations have come through. I mean, the thing is, I can respect the way Envy played a couple rounds prior when they saw the 3-man stack over towards B and immediately rushed that A site. But as you mentioned before, the smoke came down a little bit too late. KNG looking for another pick here up against Psalm as he's just going to back up into the site. Taka's still going to be holding from pit to give him some support. And there's 4 players in the vicinity of the A site for MIBR. So even if Envy get these kills, or he's get a couple of them, to get the bomb down is going to be very tough. And that's going to be MIBR now up 9-0.
Yeah, when they went into that take, they had, I think, a flashbang. So, like, you kind of even just look at that in the 5v4 with the amount of players on the site, and you go, well, they need someone to do something insane if they're going to get out of this. Again, yeah, but basically, and even that was not enough. Like, they're not being able to clear. Like, for example, Taco. The only way you're going to get him out of the pit is either, okay, maybe a ridiculous headshot, or you're going to molly him out.
Yep.
If you don't have those grenades, then there's not really anything you can do. And that's why, again, we're going to have to see them with just a few pistols. They're going to try and basically throw some utility back MIBR's way, but they definitely took the worst hit.
They did 1 damage with their nade compared to a hell of a lot. I'm not going to try to add that up. Obviously, math on air is something that I try to stay away from. But still, I mean, yeah, it seems like every potential strat they run, they're not fully prepared for it, as you mentioned before. Like, they had no Molotov to get Taco out of position.
I think it's also sort of the burden of, like, constantly trying to rebuy in a lot of these situations, or maybe spending a bit too much, because either that or they're having to try and use that utility early like they did in the round before because they can't get past these AWPs. So either way, they're in a bit of a catch-22. Fallen, he shouldn't get more than one there, and he doesn't. Actually, Nifty hits the shot onto Lucas, so this may be one of the first times we see a proper after-plant position coming in where they actually have even numbers. The only problem is weaponry, and they have managed to retrieve an AWP, and they've got the SG as well. But there's still a bit of utility for a retake to come in for the Brazilian side.
And Envy only had 1 smoke, which they've already thrown down as well. KNG trying to hold from CT, looking for Android to peek a little bit wide here as they're waiting for that smoke they did throw to dissipate. And here we go, the flashbangs being thrown in. It's going to be very tough to hold on to this one because you can see Fug off to the side towards Banana has the deagle, but Nifty's going to hit the first shot. Android's there as well, and it seems like they've been able to do the damage. They've been able to do the deed. And Taco now by himself against 3. It looks like finally Envy will put a round on the board. You can hear him screaming too. And the thing is, Tom, it's not like MIBR hasn't been giving opportunities for Envy to hit shots, to get openers.
No.
I mean, MIBR have been aggressive. They've been going for these really weird peaks. You saw Fallen there getting that aggressive, seeing multiple people cross his path from left to right, and yet he still held the angle. And he didn't back off to kind of set up for a little bit later on. So there's definitely some confidence on MIBR's side. There's definitely technically some weakness within what's happening, but Envy hasn't been able to capitalize off of it yet. And that was, I guess, technically the first time they're able to, but that was a little bit of luck, as you saw with Nifty getting the headshot through the smoke.
And here's a man who definitely needs a little bit of luck. 0010. Like, this is not one of the sort of... Well, it's not his debut game, but they haven't played much. Obviously, the matches they lost in Malmo were against teams that they never really expected to be. I think they did take a map off Fury, at least, which is something. But, yeah, other than that, they've only played online matches, and I think they lost to Astralis as well, which, fair enough. Like, that's fair. I can give you that one. But, yeah.
Good on you, Tom, to give them that one.
The sort of first opportunity they've had to do some real damage on LAN. Obviously, like, MIBR already doing damage to themselves, involving scooters. And then also with a new player. So it's a chance, but I think we might see them a little bit more, maybe build into things now. They've finally got a round on the board. They've actually got rid of a lot of the utility as well from the CTs quite early in this one and held on to their own, which is not something we've seen throughout this. They've had a utility disadvantage in pretty much every single round we've seen them play. So,
but this has been basically due to the way Envy's been playing anyways, in terms of MIBR investing heavy utility in the beginning. Because Envy have been playing a lot faster than we typically would see on Inferno. It looks like they're going to be going for that B hit. We did have, by the way, it was just KNG left alone at the B site. They had Fallen move over towards the A site as well as Fur. But they've been able to rotate players back, and here we go. The execute's going to come through. Only flashbangs to hold on to for MIBR, so I'm not sure if they can really maintain this position unless they hit some crazy shots.
oh dear, though, the crossfire just seems to be working. Fur manages to pick off another, and they're getting down to the last few seconds on this clock. 10 seconds, the bomb is being planted. KNG looks like he wants to try and deny it, but instead, he gives some space to Som down to just 1 HP. Even still, the man advantage sticks, at least for now, for the Brazilians. Nifty not going to connect the shots, and there's 2 players coming his way. He's got to be careful, but he finds Taco. Does he know that there's another player there? I question whether he does, and actually, Lucas isn't rotating anymore. I think they've already decided that this might be worth a save. They're taking a little bit too long to get towards the sites. Finally, Lucas starts to make a move, but now his teammates are running away, so they're trying to hold them in. Yeah.
So this should be the weapons taken out of Envy's hands unless they can push through CT. You can see Fur's trying to hold on to this angle. Nifty obviously wants to rescue this op into the next round. And Fur with a broken wrist to spray things down. The damage has been done from the bomb, but they haven't been able to get any kills. And look at that, Envy. With that frag out of Som, they actually maintain their weaponry into the next round. And on the side of MIBR, they still have a decent amount of money to spend, but it's not going to be a full buy with utility across the board.
Yeah, unfortunately, KNG couldn't really hold with him because it's kind of difficult to work out where you're going to take 1 HP from the bomb. And that's all he had left. So just wanted to make sure they keep the AWP. Actually, over the last few rounds, they have started to do a bit of damage in terms of the economy of the Brazilians. So I wonder if they're actually going to have a good buy going into this. Obviously, the good thing is that they managed to save 2 guns. So that should give them enough money at least. But this is actually now a chance for Envy to actually get back into this game.
Yeah, and start to get some rounds on the board where they were already struggling. I think they were down 9-0 so far in this match. I've been able to take, I think, the last 3. Sorry, last 2, potentially 3 in this round. As you can see, double op setup coming back in for MIBR. But I kind of wonder, what was the mindset between rotating Fallen and Fur off the B side, putting KNG there? Because it's not like they didn't have the weaponry, it's not like they didn't have the utility, but I guess they were trying to maybe read into what Envy was doing.
Yeah, they weren't there when the take came in, though.
That's true, that is true.
If anything, with what they had there, they put quite a late smoke down as well, so by that point, I think it probably should have been an MIBR round, but just good work to get into the sites and hold on to those positions in the afterplant. So, yeah, I think Nifty getting that pick on Banana pretty much won them the round, because they thought he was still defending and knew both was there. In reality, he didn't, but it didn't matter, because that was already the point where Lucas couldn't push anymore. So, either way, still a decent amount of utility. That's the one thing that is still there for the CT side, but the weaponry has dipped a little bit. You've got the MP9. Again, like, Taco's taking the hit elsewhere with the grenades that he has, and, well, KNG's going to get a little tag through the smoke, but, well, it's both teams sort of taking a bit of initial damage.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That would be the second time that he potentially would have died to a Molotov. Taco trying to peek over the course, over the top of the smoke. And unfortunately just falls at the wrong time. Can maybe potentially pick up that first kill up against Ryan. And if let's fall into his own devices yet again at the B side. He still has the smoke, by the way, in case they do rotate back towards this direction to help delay this. And looks like that might be exactly what Envy's going to do. And now Fallen has to stay alive. The smoke comes down, 30 seconds left to go. The rotation at KG is going to be there to help hold from CT. But we do have a hell of a lot of smokes left for Envy, and just as they start direction towards B, now they're wondering, well, what are we going to do here? And this is going to come down to time here, Tom. They're going to have to get this bomb down somehow with just a few seconds left.
And they got to go through the smoke. They don't have time to wait behind it. They have to try and make their way past this double orb setup, and just neither of the players are going to be missing at this point. They should have bought enough time. Fallen's dropped the bomb as well. This round should be over. They haven't had time to pick it up, and he's still hitting the shots. Ryan, well, he's finally got his first kill, but unfortunately, it is meaningless.
That was like a frag movie there. Just the constant switching between the operators, and they're all hitting their shots. That was really sick. I like to see that, and that's us on camera, obviously.
Hello.
As I like to sit down when I cast, he likes to stand up and drink water.
And you're still taller
as well.
than me.
And I'm still taller than you when I'm sitting down. But that's the man we're gonna want to see on the screen. You don't want to see us. But yeah, what a shot coming in. Both double up setup, and again, just leaving Fallen there. The smoke as well, and Envy just I think they expected to not have to work around a smoke.
Yeah,
because they instantly like stopped and like, okay, well now what do we do? And obviously when you're already in that position, you have to commit to it.
Well, this is also something that MIBR have just adapted. Like before, they threw a lot of utility early. Instead, now they've started saving it because Envy have started playing a bit slower. They had 2 smokes going into the last few seconds of that round, so yeah, there was no way that Envy were going to be able to take that. And the round before that they managed to sort of steal was based off just a bit of luck through the smoke. So Fugly, this time, is going to be able to get the open. A nice flick from KMG. Shouldn't be able to get the second and won't. There is a rotation already in from Fallen. This time only with the rifle. They did manage to save the AWP, and well, Fugly's now got a double. This is surely a done round. Like for only with an SMG, Lucas just about wrapping around. It still seems like they're trying to challenge us, maybe hoping that they can get an early pick. Lucas, he burnt down to 2 HP. I thought he was going to die from that. Does manage to at least remove 1 player, but it doesn't benefit them that much. Okay, sure, it's hurt the T's economy a little bit, and they are still going to be able to fall out of the round. Also, chances are Envy are probably not going to hunt these weapons down.
Yeah, definitely with no money to really spend to the next gen anyways. But well done. I mean, again, we're seeing Envy try to capitalize off the aggression that MIBR are using. They catch them a little bit too far out or peeking a little bit too aggressively and trying to use that to their advantage again, but it still seems like rough times for them. Even when they do finally get into the site, sometimes they're down quite a few players. But hey, considering they were down 9-0 to now be 10-3, they should be at least happy they're able to get 3 of these rounds. And ideally, if they can pick up the next 2, they would be in an okay situation. But that's what I want to hear. I want to hear some scream when they start to win some rounds here. Get some motivation. I remember, what was it, Gamer Zone? I can't remember, Torzi, I think it was, we were watching in over in Budapest. And they were playing against MIBR, if I'm not mistaken. They actually won on Inferno, now that I think about it. And every round they took, he got so ecstatic. He screamed so loud, I think he almost lost his voice.
Well, that was the thing we noticed, though, is then later in the tournament when they were playing bad and he wasn't doing that, it was, like, eerily quiet.
Yeah.
Like, and that's probably the same thing for Envy here. Like, even if you, I think they, like, upload videos on, like, Twitter of, like, when they win a match, you see the celebrations, and it's like, when it's so quiet, when it's going that bad, that also plays a mental game on you, because you're like, normally that guy is screaming. He's not screaming because we suck. Like that's the only like
the psychology behind it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's really important, to be fair, and that's always one thing I kind of look at, a double-edged sword when it comes to someone who's very vocal like that.
Yeah.
Is that when they're quiet, you're kind of ruin the morale within the team, but when you're ecstatic, then you kind of help them out. But here we go, coming into the penultimate round of the first half, 10-3. Our debut game for the ESL Pro League Season 10 here in North America, as the U did kick off today as well. And Nifty, as you mentioned before, that's the man we want to see start hitting shots, and he gets the first, but eventually gets dunked on.
Oh, Taco, not an expected spot. Even had the crossfire. They've done it again in this mid position. Just stacked up players there. Left Fallen on the other side of the map, and they've even dropped the bomb. Taco's trying to get aggressive here. He's retrieved the AWP. He's got to be careful, though. He's got too many angles to check, and Som is going to be able to close him out. We also see the rotation coming in from Fallen. He's even just sitting back towards the spawn just because of the position of the bomb. Now, they're only going to be able to get anywhere near the site once they've retrieved it, but Fugly's at least trying to work out where Fur is coming from. he's going to be going right behind him. This is all just going to come down to timing. And in fact, they may even just opt to give up the bomb and just now have first sitting in the site.
Som almost got away with that one. Fallon's actually checking back towards T-spawn, looking for the wraparound, but he does get caught out. Now it's all in Fugly, 30 seconds left to go. He does retrieve the bomb, but will he expect Fur to be boosted up in sight? 20 seconds left, he's not even checking it. Fur. That was almost too close for comfort.
Why?
But he gets the kill.
Why? Give me a mini heart attack.
It's just letting him know, like, I could have killed you already, but I'm gonna let you have that like millisecond chance.
They're literally all laughing at him. Like, what was that? What just happened? But hey, he got the kill, so we can't complain.
Like even little things like that, it's like a little bit of mind games, you know?
There's no way that was my game.
That was totally mind games. He's like, I could have killed you, but I wanted to give you a second chance to have some sort of hope and then just crush it.
That's where you deserve to get one-tapped. Like, just like that incredible flick that someone's never done before. Either way, last round of the half, and it is not a pretty buy coming in for Envy. They're just going to try and brute force this one. KNG doesn't have his ult, but he does have an MP9, and now Taco sprays down 2 once again. This close mid position has done work for him within the last couple of rounds. And Fugly, for just a Tech 9, you'd hope that there's a weapon somewhere for him to retrieve, but they kind of need to get on towards the site and get that bomb down. He will just get a moment to go back and grab an SG, which at least gives them the potential to win this round. Utility is still there, a couple of smokes, a couple of flashbangs available for this CT side. Though the retakes from them haven't been amazing. It's just the bomb hasn't been going down so much within this match so far. Som trying to hold on to position. Fugly already taking damage. They've kind of isolated off Som, and Fallen's going to hit the shot. They now know exactly where Fugly is. And actually, they could get towards this bomb. Instead, they're just looking to try and peek him together. And, well, he can't do anything here. Bomb should be defused. They have to wait for Lucas to get around there with the kit. It's going to be close, but I think he's just about got it.
Yeah, there we go. MIBR going to take the half at 12-3. I think it's expected for MIBR to take the first half. Maybe not in that quite a fashion, but they definitely looked good. And we did see some life within the MV roster, obviously, as they were struggling throughout the course of this match. Nifty started to show some life. Ryan as well, having a rough first start here. But it's just the first match of the day. It's just their first game of the season. They still obviously have some more matches to play over the course of this week. But MIBR looking pretty solid. I feel like when we see MIBR against Furia will be like the real test for them to see what kind of form they truly have brought into this season, but they're already looking pretty good.
Yeah, the double orb setup was just absolutely stellar, and I'm hoping we might see one of them over on the T side in the second half.
I just step up and make it happen. It's a lifestyle. Living young and restless, yeah, we quite wild. If I want it, I'ma get it talking right now. And I ain't got no regrets, it's my time now. Lights out when you see us talking moves. You don't know that's the topic. And if you talking juice, well then you know I got it. Then you know I got it. Nobody got it like me. They can try, but can't do it like Vinny. Yeah, no permission. I got it.
Welcome back, everyone, to the second half here of the ESL Pro League debut match with MIBR up against Team Envy. You should feel small because I'm sitting down and he's standing. Now you're sitting and now you look like my my son, my baby. Not that kind of baby, like, you know, small human baby. Not like the romantic kind of baby.
Yeah, no, I got what you were saying. You didn't need to explain
Just
that.
had to do it just in case, you know, people out there were a little bit confused. But we're going to be heading back into the match here. 12-3 was the scoreline for MIBR. Massive advantage in the first half, and they sure as hell earned it, as we did see some phenomenal play out of pretty much every single player within the team. For currently bottom fragging, but you're not really going to count too highly about, or too critically of that, considering, well, they're winning 12-3, Tom.
Yeah, he's also not been playing badly at all. Like, there's a moment or two where it sort of caught us off guard, but not really anything to worry about.
It's been a lot of things catching us off guard so far today, Tom.
Yeah, odds also firmly in their favor, so it kind of expected considering the current scoreline, but here we go. It is going to be the execution. Same four-man stack coming in from the CT side once again. Going to be pushing into middle. Third just taps down two. Not going to be able to get the third. And actually, Ryan's found a double back of his own. Maybe a bit of a confidence booster after what was a poor first half from him. Same sort of scenario looking to occur, though. The wraparound onto the site. The fast retake coming in from this CT side. However, the difference is MIBR have a man advantage.
Molotov's going to go off. Taco trying to pressure Sam, trying to hit the shot, swings really wide, which Taco's going to get the kill, and Ryan trying to swing around, won't be able to catch much of anything. I swear, what you just saw there with Ferg getting that nice double kill was basically the equivalent of like breaking someone's ankles in basketball. You just kind of broke the wrists from Boiler.
Yeah, maybe he did. I hope not.
I don't know if you understand the reference from basketball.
No, I do not.
It's okay. Well, I'll show you after. I'll show you after the match. I don't want to explain it right now.
I'm not the right height for basketball, let's be real.
You got the right haircut for it.
It's awesome.
Yeah, you got something. So 13-3, Team Envy on the back foot now. Looking like a big massive stack for Envy over towards the B side. All 5 players here with pretty much nothing invested into this round. Flashbang's being thrown in, so they're going to continue to stay here. They actually might push out, which Lucas is going to be waiting, but he won't expect it. Coming around the corner, Fugly swings wide. Not able to get much done there, but he gets the damage. Android's able to get the kill. They recover the weapon, but now they know the A side's going to be pretty much for free to take. And Envy, are they what? Just going to save the MAC-10 to the next round? Or are they going to still try to look for more kills? Are they going to be able to hit any of these kills with just these pistols?
It's one of those scenarios where they're so far behind that there's not really a wrong answer. Like, you don't want to save the MAC-10. I don't think that's a problem. I think some should be hunting to try and get a kill just for the extra bit of money that they'll get, because it's not like the normal buy. Normally you'd force buy in the second and you'd wait so that you could have that bigger buy coming up. Instead, they'll just have like flat rifles and a little bit of utility. For the rest of the players, however, chance of you getting a kill with a USP versus a chance of you being farmed up for cash by MIBR, I would say you kind of just want to hide. Like, obviously, it's a horrible scenario where, okay, we're already 13-3, it's going to be 14-3, and I'm saving nothing. But it's still better than just basically handing economy over to MIBR, and gives you more of a chance to actually break their money a little bit later on.
Well, let's see now. Envy got some money to spend here. And they do invest into the op for Nifty. And I mean, he had a rough start with AWP. But towards the end, he started to pick up a couple of kills. He got some crucial kills over towards Banana. If we think back to one of the rounds they did take in that first half, was able to take the first kill and stop the second player from pushing up. But he's got a hell of a lot of work to do here if he was going to want to be effective for his team, considering they are down by such a large margin.
A least the purchase into this round is somewhat of a bonus. Not that MIBR really need the bonus cash, as they could pretty much close out this game in, well, the next 10 minutes or so, or even less, a lot less. But we'll see whether or not they're going to be able to do it with the limited weaponry. They still have an advantage when it comes to utility, although a lot of smoke spored up for Envy, so still an opportunity to buy time. The only problem is that Som is so far back, he doesn't know how far forward his opponents are, and Lucas is just going to decapitate him. That's round over. They've got to save. Like, they can't retake this. There's absolutely no way that they can retake this, and that was such a risky strategy. Are they actually going to go for this? Because this would just throw away all the weaponry. Again, it's a scenario where you kind of go, well, is anything really wrong here? Like, you're so far down, you probably lost anyway. Do you want to just risk it to give yourself a little bit of an edge?
If they protect Nifty, maybe get a couple of kills with the op. The problem is he's down to 33 HP, and Taco's been able to take down Rhyme. They're still sticking around. Why have they not backed away? They're just giving... What's going on? They're just giving away all their weapons.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you either had to commit to a retake or just save. And that does... When they lost that first player, that was my first thought.
Oh, no, he's not keeping this either.
No. Like, you had to just keep your weaponry because you're in a horrible, horrible scenario and you need to at least have guns to try and fight this back. But it's kind of looking like they're just mentally out of this game already. Like, just writing this one off as a loss and just going, okay, we've got the next map. Mirage gives us a little bit more of a, like, open air to sort of fight battles, take some of these individual duels, and maybe show some more of that, like, NA Pug style, which they picked up some multiple players who can definitely work that map. I remember Nifty himself, when he used to ult Mirage, was very, very good in Renegade. So it's plausible. The fact is, though, not saving the weaponry here leaves them with 2 shotguns, which I like a shotgun, but not when you're losing 15-3.
But they got both of our favorites, the Max 7 and the XM. So they're winners in my book.
Yeah, just not on
But our
rounds.
book doesn't matter when it comes to getting to the finals,
Yeah.
so. Flashbang's coming through, looking to push up. Get 4 players going to be here. Lucas being protected. I like this position of Fallen too, because the jump shotgun can be so deadly, especially with how close they are. And Andrew has a chance, if he can get this kill in at Taco, pick up a nice little AK to use to maybe stave off MIBR from taking the round and the map. That nade just destroyed Som, by the way.
Okay. Even still, he managed to get one. If they manage to steal this round, that's a nice $900. And actually, Fugly's going to get one with the Mag 7 as well. They've done damage, but have also taken a fair amount in return. KNG hoping they're still aggressive, but they've already fallen back towards the site. This has gone into a very passive hold, in fact, from Envy. Just sitting in towards the sites. They don't have much utility left to try and basically face off any of the aggression that's going to come in from MIBR. So they're just hoping that they can burn the clock down enough and then hit a shot or two to drop that bomb.
Well, they know they have a shotgun to compete with over towards the B site. They know there's an M4 over towards the A site. I think there's a Taco going down before. Or sorry, not Taco going down before. I think that was Fur.
Yeah.
But KNG maybe leading the charge with AWP isn't the best bet. 10 seconds left to go. Time is going to be such a massive factor. They have to clear them out so quickly and get the bomb down. Fugly does get spotted with the shotgun. They have to clear out one more player that tries to go for the plant. If Nifty actually just downs him as he's trying to plant the bomb, they win the round, and he gets the spray! He gets the kill, and it saves Envy as they get their 4th round.
That literally was just down to time. Like, they just perfectly timed from him. Manages to hit the player actually planting the bomb. He knew what he was going for as well. He didn't even look towards the player who was above. Just like, nah, I'm ignoring you. I need to kill the bomb planter. And well, that is a round just stolen away. And now at least the buy is acceptable. Like, they've got a couple of Famises, which, yeah, it's not ideal. But it's still better than...
by the way.
I'm pretty sure I said that to you and you almost vomited in your mouth.
I mean, every time you make a joke, I almost vomit it out, to be fair. The thing is, even though Envy did get that round, they got it in a very lucky way. With Downing Fall in the last few seconds, but they still have so many more rounds to go, 11 straight, to just tie things up and take it overtime. So
yeah,
it's still not very likely, but that was still the first step in the right direction.
Yeah, it could also be like just to end the game on a high. Like, okay, we had an awful start, but maybe we started to frag a little bit and we can go into the next map. I think that's more of a plausible explanation. Like, I don't think they're going to bring this back. And I don't think that's too bold to say.
No, I think most people out there will agree with you, to be fair. And I think even Envy, maybe to some extent, would agree with you in that. But I still want to see them like try to use these this time, even though maybe coming back is something possible for them. I would like to see them start to like warm up a little more into this. Like for instance, Ryan, who was on, I think he was 0-11, finally got his first kill.
He got 1 kill in the first half.
You know, get him a little bit of confidence within him, as well as Nifty on the AWP. If you can get him back to it, get some confidence going for him, since he has so much weight on his shoulders of having to opt against the caliber of players MIBR have, especially with KNG and with Fallen. But then he has to in-game lead as well. But let's see, 5 players out of MIBR. Again, dragging it out to the last few seconds. There's Nifty with the Incendiary Grenade. They're going to be able to throw down to delay for some time. Smoke potentially used out of MIBR to actually block going off. And Nifty's going to get a kill with this one. 15 seconds left to go, Tom. They're going to have to make something happen. They're going to have to somehow get these kills.
Yeah, it's the same scenario again. Envy just using the clock to their advantage. Som just has to survive in the corner. The flashbang's good. He sprays one. He just needs to get the planter, and it's happened again. They've run out of time. This time it wasn't as close as the previous. But even still, great work from Envy. And they're just trying to use that to their advantage. The MIBR seem to want to execute so late into the rounds.
But they had so many smokes to like get rid of that Incendiary Grenade and make their way in towards the site. Obviously, throwing it down would make things a little bit more complicated of, well, killing the people in sight, but you could have planted in the smoke potentially, like on the very edge of it maybe, or thrown in another, because I think they had at least 2 smokes to use in that round. But either way, again, it's 15-5. It's not like Envy have been able to win, you know, what, let's say like maybe 8 straight to really pull this one into the realm of possibility of tying things up. But it's definitely a good start, and I agree with what we've been saying. It's definitely a good confidence booster for him.
Oh. Going to be left with the Hero AK in this round. Clearly his teammates don't doubt anything to do with like his ability based off his wrist, which I like to see. Like, you want to see this man playing at his best. I think in the whole of Counter-Strike that when he's at the top of his game, he's one of the most exciting players in the whole scene to watch. We'll see if he can close this out in style. With his teammates only on some pistols. Never mind. Taco's going to find that opener. And that AWP should be retrievable. Okay, he takes a lick of damage. And well, actually peeks back into Fugly's crosshair, which may not have been the right play to make. But Fallen can now pick up the AWP, which, if anything, I'm quite happy about.
And they still have a player towards B with Lucas, so they could potentially pincer onto this B side if that's the direction they do want to go. But Lucas only has the Deagle, which is the unfortunate part. Fallen's going to have to hit some shots here. Obviously, with CT giving up, and you have to be hiding and playing very passive on the site.
Yeah, it's the same again. They're just using the recipe that worked. It's like, okay, they have to clear us out of these angles. I think they will have known that they've wrapped around or should have an idea that it's possible, so they just won't show anything. Don't give those Deagles a shot. Make them get in nice and close, and then your rifle's going to benefit you tenfold. And, well, the only problem is the crossfire wasn't quite there. Ryan facing in the wrong direction. Once again, Som, 12 seconds left on this clock. He's going to be trying to deny any sort of plan. You can see they want to kill him before they go for anything of the sort. And they are going to be getting this bomb down with plenty of time to spare. Fugly going to be left with 10 HP to try and clutch the 1 versus 3. The bomb ticking against him. Okay, sure, one of his opponents doesn't have any armor. That gives him something to play with, but he's just having to pre-fire everything he can just in the hopes that he'll kill someone off. But they're playing dirty. Both players into dark. Even if Fallen dies here, there's no way he'll expect the second player, and it doesn't matter anyway. MIBR close out the game, a minute attempt at a comeback, but it was never really believed.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 rounds they did get on the CT side, it's not like they necessarily 100% won them confidently. It was, yeah, it's based off time. It was killing the bomb planter in the last few seconds that one of those rounds. So, I mean, you could pretty much just call it like a 16-3 scoreline in the end, because the 3 rounds they did deserve and earn were obviously within that first half alone. But definitely some good